Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me on Their Fight Story. I have Johnny Cupcake Campbell with us. How are you doing today, Johnny?
Fantastic. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you. How did you get your name Cupcake?
Cupcakes. It just came from the gym. So, South Shore Sport Fighting is known for having kind of like different nicknames or what have you. So, somebody called me Johnny Cupcakes because of the. I'm getting a dog invasion right now. Uh, yeah, somebody called me it, like kind of joking around
Yeah.
because I don't know. I'm like a happy-go-lucky kind of person, especially in the gym.
Yeah.
So yeah, and there's a T-shirt company, Johnny Cupcakes. So somebody called me that, and it just caught on. And then my first fight, they didn't tell me they were going to announce me as Johnny Cupcakes Campbell, and I'm like standing there ready to go out for the first time. Not really know. Probably I don't even know if I was there like entirely. I was kind of like probably going to like another place,
Yeah.
and they said my name was Cupcakes Campbell, and it just like never changed. Everybody likes it a lot. That's what
Yeah.
everybody calls me now. So I have like a hat
Yes.
with like a cupcake on it. I mean, it's like a whole thing now. So I'm like not even necessarily Johnny Cupcakes. I'm just Cupcakes. So
You just owned it.
that's who. Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. Because like what I see when when I first heard, hey, Johnny Cupcakes, Campbell fighting, blah, 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 blah. I was like, cupcakes. Okay. And then you have your intro song. So I was
Yeah.
like, okay. And then I saw you fight, and then I was like, oh, okay. So what I understood was, people love cupcakes, right?
Totally. Who doesn't?
But for the wrong person, a cupcake can cause severe damage. And
Definitely.
that that is you causing severe damage to people.
Most that I possibly can.
Yeah. With a smile on your face.
Sometimes, sometimes.
How did you get into MMA?
I got into MMA from, um, I mean, when I first really got into it, I was just like getting into quite a few fights at the time, and MMA had always kind of been like a thing that I knew about for quite a long time and didn't really know like how to get into it or like it's so hard. I mean, people just have trouble sometimes going to like Planet Fitness. I always hear all the time say to me, I want to get in shape before I go to the gym. And I just felt like kind of similar. Like I felt like I was drawn to it and that I naturally wanted to fight. But like part of me was like, am I, should I? Am I that guy? I like judged myself. So I just never really went through with it. And I mean, at the time, I was somewhat suicidal, to be like straight, and went to a gym with my friend Corey for the first time, and we like somewhat signed up. We had like zero money. I mean, zero money at the time, none. So we could only pay for little bits of training at a time. But that's how I like got in. Fight Zone was the place, and it was somewhat like a hole in the wall type of gym. But I mean, they did good stuff there, and the coach Mike, he was like affiliated with Sidio Tong, so I mean, he had some good striking, and then that just in the area we have like some tremendous grapplers, high level wrestling around here, and I got they had some good wrestlers there too, so I got like a good fundamental base at that gym way back. I was 18 at the time, so I was still like not necessarily like a kid, but yeah, that was back in 2005.
Wow. Now, how has it changed your life?
So much, so much. Man, I'd probably be dead right now. So, I would have just done some stupid thing and probably just been dead a long time ago had I not. I couldn't tell you exactly what that stupid thing would have been, but there's copious amounts of things that you can do. And for sure, MMA gave me a direction and somewhat of a purpose. And man, something to focus on, to get better at. And then when you do that with practically anything, it always ends up filtering down into your regular life. And then you start making improvements on your actual self as well. So, and especially martial arts does that more than probably most things, like maybe like an instrument or like a sport or even like journalism, something like writing. I feel like that could, force you to be a better person just by wanting to be better at your craft. You have to be a better human being, literally. And yeah, it changed everything about my life. It made every single aspect of my life better. Like I could not be more grateful, and I would not trade not a single thing. I wouldn't change one single thing in my life. Um, and martial arts, I think, is why.
So when I was at the shows and I was at weigh-ins, right? I would take your pictures, but I don't know when you changed. Something about you changed where before I would see you as a fighter doing your
Mm.
thing.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, one fight weigh-ins, you walk in there and you were like owning the place. Like you walked in there like, I got this. Like there was, I don't know. And like the thing is, like I never thought you had doubts, but one day you walked in there and anything that I don't know what happened, but as soon as I saw you walk in there, you were owning the place. What happened?
It's like a spider web of stuff, I think. I think like a bunch of things clicked finally in a way. Um, so many things that I was trying to figure out, like just kind of happened in a way over kind of a long period of time. But I just like my learning came to like a center place recently enough, and like so many different things. I mean, I've lost 12 fights in my career, and a few of them by decision that were like razor close. And after like a certain point, you just like there's a I don't give a fuck kind of
Mm-hmm.
thing, almost. I mean, I've talked about it about a lot of fighters. I think that if 90% of the fighters that are fighting right now had to go through my path, I think they quit like, man, 5 years ago. I don't think anyone keeps doing what I did and grinding and never saying I give up. I don't think anybody would have done it. I look at all these people, all these fighters that I see fight, and when I watch them fight, it's like I'm watching their inner thoughts
Mm-hmm.
right in front of me, and I know exactly who they are when I see them fight. And yeah, I will never stop until either the sky falls on my head or my body just gives out entirely. I am not gonna ever stop. Um, I fought a guy, Matt Doherty, where my arm dislocated in the second round, and I finished the round one armed, not even not even being able to fully defend myself, and that's what my career has been. I have put myself in a position where I just don't give a fuck anymore. And I am just here to swing my fists as hard as I can at people's heads. And if they fall down, I'm going to continue to hit them. And if I can't stop them that way, I will choke them unconscious or break one of their limbs. And if none of that happens, the referee is going to stop it. And at the very least, the judges are going to know that I won the fight. And I'm going to do that until one of those things happen. The sky falls or I can't anymore, and I feel like I have a good like 20 plus fights in me, and I'm just like kind of like you said, changed, reborn, whatever it is. Like I'm just ready to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I'm looking at your record and I was like your record doesn't reflect you. It doesn't. And if people look at it, to the people you've lost to, these aren't just, you know, they're not people that they throw in there to pad your record. You know what I
Definitely,
mean? You fought tough people.
100%.
So, I mean, looking at your record, people will be like, whatever. But if they actually go in and really look at who you're fighting,
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a whole different story.
Definitely.
So your last fight in March got canceled because of COVID. Is anything coming up that you're preparing for or that you hope you'll be fighting again?
Yeah, I'm hoping as ASAP really. So, I just narrowly missed one for Bellator that would have actually been this upcoming Saturday on the
Okay.
12th, and New England MMA, which is a relatively new publication, had a lead or had a connection with Bellator. They knew that I was ready to go, so they hit me up, asked me if there was anybody I would be willing to or wanted to call out. I um I didn't really know off the top of my head who I'd call out, and my weight is good because I'm waiting for the contender series or something. Short notice. I can make 35 probably in about a week and a half or less. So, um, I just was kind of like, well, who do you have? Do you have anyone? And they came up with this fellow Blaine Shutt, who's 8-4 and just won the 125 title with CES, and he's a pretty good fighter. He's a majority of his game is a wrestling game, but he's freaking fearless, and
Mhm.
I felt like the fight would have definitely advantaged to me, so I was 100% for that. But unfortunately, contractually, things didn't work out, so we ran out of time. I couldn't get a fight, but yeah, somebody just reached out to me today about a fellow named Jose Johnson, who is this long, lean striker who knocks people out. He's a very, very, very tough man. He just lost on the Contender Series
Mhm.
the other day, and they we're in talks about setting something up for October if we can come to an agreement. That's something I'm willing to do. I want to just get people in front of me and just continue fighting and continue cutting my way through. And I would love for it to be the Contender or the UFC
Mhm.
immediately. If they're listening, I will try to kill people for you, UFC. So like give me a call. But if they don't, then I just want the most ready opponents who look the best when I'm beating the crap out of them, so that somebody's going to be watching, and
Mhm.
they're going to pick me up and sign me because I'm ready to go.
Great. Do you believe in the law of attraction?
Oh yeah. What do you
Okay.
want?
No, because I feel it's like I think that switch that you know what I mean that happened with you
That's one of the things.
is like
I've been practicing that for like since 2000. I'm gonna say 10. No, earlier. Man, it is so tough. Do you do that? Do you do the law of attraction?
I do. I
Man,
do.
beast. It's tricky
It
because
is.
while you're trying to create good things and positivity and success, it's so easy to just like be creating all the negative stuff like at the same time. It's just, man, it's so easy yet so tricky. It's, man.
It is. It is. But it's helped me so much just get through everything. It is frustrating when I'm trying to be focused and I'm trying to be positive, and then it's just like, really? Like, how is this possible? Like, why is this happening like right now? Like,
100%. It's happening for you somehow. It's
yeah.
always happening to help us get to the positive stuff. We just have to try to like shift the perspective. And that's what I've been working on lately is not that a lot of bad things happen to me or for me or around me or whatever it is, but saying thank you or
Mhm.
being grateful for the things that you wish kind of didn't happen.
Yes.
You get cut off in traffic, and if you can like say thank you and fucking mean it, like you're just gonna spiral towards positivity. You gotta trick the universe into thinking, oh, I'm just gonna give this dude everything that he wants because he loves everything that I'm sending to him. And then, bam, Conor McGregor, it's just not easy to stay on top. You see,
Mhm.
like Conor, he uses it to get right to the top, wins 2 titles, goes and fights Mayweather for like hundreds of millions of dollars, exactly what he wanted. But he just didn't stay focused. He just didn't stay focused, and then you fall off. And people think like, oh, he's not on it. He's not athletically there anymore. He's getting older. It's like, nah, his mind is just everywhere.
Mhm.
His mind is not focused anymore. It's a crazy thing. It's a crazy thing. I love it though.
I do. And I've used it a lot. I haven't used it a lot. Let me clarify. I've noticed it a lot with fighters.
Yes.
I've seen that when a fighter can have everything, but if
Yup.
they don't have the right mindset,
Bingo.
everything falls apart. And it's just like, oh my gosh.
In
Like,
fighting, it's so obvious because there's a winner and a loser. It's like that's it right there. Law of attraction. It's like, oh well, he attracted the win and he attracted the loss, and sometimes it's tough. I've lost fights and been like man, how attracting this, but dude, everything. I mean, quick law of attraction story in a negative way, which I first learned about it, started trying to use it or implement it, and I was just new at it, and I was going into a fight against a guy up in New Hampshire, like tough guy. Definitely, I should have won though. I just definitely should have won. Better fighter. He was just tough and pretty good at what he did. And I used an affirmation. I thought it was an affirmation, and I said, I'm going to defeat Adam Toussaint. I'm going to defeat Adam Toussaint. And I kid you not, I must have repeated that to myself at least 20 million times. Even the night of the fight, I was repeating that over and over again. And I was so nervous for that fight for like a unusual. I just have no idea why, but I was ultra nervous for that fight. And I went out there and I started beating him and was completely outclassing him and started just putting my hands down just because I was a dick, just because I deserved to lose at that point in my life. I mean, it wasn't just the affirmation. I mean, it was everything that I was doing, but the affirmation was just like the universe being like, yo, can you please catch on to this right now and not wait or not take forever? But it was still tough, but he ended up hitting me in the chin because my chin was just hanging there and it hurt me and I staggered and I went in for a takedown even though I was the striker and he put on a Peruvian necktie, which was like the one submission he was good at, and I fought it off for like a little and he tapped me out and I lost a fight I shouldn't have lost, and I think it might have started a losing streak, but like I said, everything that happened definitely was for a good reason. So, I mean, I didn't learn every lesson I needed to that night, but I learned some, and it was just a valuable stepping stone towards what I think is greatness. So, yeah, I'm lucky that Adam Toussaint socked me in the face and choked my head off that night. It's good.
but you said you were going to defeat him, right?
Defeat, exactly. So the universe just gave me what I was asking for, which was defeat. So simple, so simple. Now I don't, had I said I will win this fight
Exactly.
instead, now I can't guarantee I would have won, but man, I wish I had said that instead. I wish I repeated that 2 million times or whatever it was. I just don't know if I was there or was, I don't know if I just needed to lose. So it is what it is. But that was a, that was a, that was one where it was right in my face. Law of attraction, obvious, obvious, obvious. And yeah, I learned though. It was good. I love it. I think it's so fun, to be honest. I used to just be an angry little guy going around hating on every little thing that happened in front of me. And now I'm so much better at focusing myself, my thoughts, and just being like, what are the goals that you have and what are you trying to achieve? And don't get distracted with all the stuff right in front of you. And it's not easy, but I fucking love doing it. I do.
Yeah, there's some sort of like reward or feeling of content. I don't even know what it is, but it doesn't matter the situation.
Exactly.
Once you're thankful, it's like the whole environment changes. Your
Yeah.
whole view, your whole everything just feels right. Regardless of how bad the situation is, it
Yep.
just feels right. So it puts you in a better position to accept things and
Definitely.
learn from it. Now, there's another thing that you do is that you have a specific or you figured out your weight cutting and your dieting.
100%.
How did you get
I mean,
there? I mean, did you
certainly
experience?
35 fights, 35 fights. I cut weight and I definitely dieted for pretty much every one of those. And so it's like eventually I did figure it out. So I mean, I think everybody has different ways too. Sometimes like everything doesn't work the same for one person, but um, yeah, for the longest time, I was just eating the wrong stuff when I wanted to lose weight. And sometimes I would lose weight, and sometimes I would become inflamed and not lose weight, And then, um, so I have a more consistent method as to what I eat and when it's time to go as far as losing weight. And then, part of it's maturity too. I was just an idiot for so long, man. I was so dumb. I just love to eat food, and especially when you're working out. I mean, I'm sure everybody knows human beings are just hungry motherfuckers. So we're just hungry, but when you're working out hard, you get extra hungry, and it's so easy to just be like, well, I'm just gonna eat like 40 Oreos, no big deal, whatever, and then think like, oh yeah, I'll balance it out, and you miss weight, or looking like an idiot, or you have bad weight cuts and then you don't perform well. So yeah, everything just eventually came together where I figured out how to cut like way too much weight. I tell normal people how much weight I dehydrate, and they're like, how are you even alive, really? But and even for fighters, I dehydrate quite a bit for my size, and it's just because it's some science and it's math and it's nutrition, and if you do it right, you can be at about 100%, day of, and you can be huge in the cage. And I don't know if everyone takes full advantage of it.
So, where do you want to go from here with your career?
As high as I possibly can, as high as I can. I will look at guys in the UFC that are ranked at like 3 and 4 and 2 and even like 1, and I think that I could be in there hanging with guys like that, no issue whatsoever. So, I mean, especially if you look at the bantamweight division and my age, I think if you put me in that division and I knock off 1, 2 guys, it like puts you right in that top 10 area. I mean, Rob Font's a badass, but he is there because that division is like, it's like that. You just get a couple good wins and bam, you are right in the mix for potentially a title shot. And at 33, I think with the way that I'm fighting, I could be looking at legitimately a UFC title shot within 2 years, no problem. It just have to keep grinding, getting better, stay ready. Right now with COVID, I would fight any single human being on earth right now. Any single, well, at 135, I probably shouldn't say that. There are guys right above me that I would probably pee my pants if I was in there with them. But 100% any guy that wants to weigh in at 135, I'm willing to sign that dotted line. So yeah, let's just get to the very top.
What happens if they offer you a fight, but it's one weight class above?
What is it? And what are the stipulations then? So if it's contender series, that would be like a possible. That would probably like 90%. I would take that. If it was straight up UFC, I would take it at absolutely 100%, because I think it would be like a tremendous opportunity, not only to get a win, but to just to get a contract in the UFC. So I would absolutely go, and I would just go in there and swing my hands as hard as I could, and try to get on top of dude if it was on the ground. And yeah, I promise to put on the fights that people want to see. I know exactly what fights people want to see. I watch fighters who say they want to put on good fights, and then in there it's just an ego thing and they can't like let go. And I feel like I am ready to go. I fought Jeff Perez this last fight, and that man is no joke the strongest person I've ever grappled with that's even close to my size. I mean, insanely strong. And in the third round, I walked forward and threw punches at him with no fear of being taken down and with absolutely no fear of getting hit back. And I will do that against anybody. So put me in front of them 145 or 135. And yeah, if it's the UFC, it's game on pretty much.
Thank you so much, Johnny. Before we conclude, do you have any final thoughts that you would like to share with everybody?
I mean, not necessarily. I think I pretty much shared everything. Thank you to any and all of my sponsors. Everybody that helps me out in South Shore Sport Fighting, UFC, Gym, Boston. Just a great family that I have around me. Everybody is so good to me and helping me improve and helping me get ready for fights on a whim if I need them to. So, and giving me a place to work and things that make money. That's huge for that too. So yeah, I love my life. Thank you so much for everything. I appreciate you, Iggy, for having me on here and giving me an opportunity to have some content to spread my word and message. And hopefully, I would love it if this was the interview that Dana White peeped and decided, like, all right, it's time to just let this guy kill people in my company. So, yeah, that's it. Thank you.
You're welcome. And I hope your law of attraction of you getting that call happens very
Let's
soon.
go. Let's go. I hope so. I think so too. I've been feeling it. It's real close. So it's
That's
real.
awesome. I'm happy for you. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too. Bye.